everyone. I want to say a very, very big thank you to everyone joining the live at this time. If you're here to join, I want to say you're welcome. If you're watching after the live has ended, I also want to say a very, very big welcome. So today is Saturday and I'm at home. I didn't go to work. So of course it's usual for me to like come live every single day. I'm just going to take you through what is the topic of today's life is about, and I'm just going to go about my day and doing all of that, right? So we are talking about being a Christian and being that girl, right? Who is a Christian? Someone who's living Israel life for Jesus, who's living who Christianity is not a religion, it's a lifestyle, whose lifestyle represents who Jesus is, whose lifestyle is pleases the Lord. Let me just use like that, whose lifestyle pleases the Lord. So that is exactly what Christian is, right? Someone who is saved, someone who is living their life for the Lord. And now, what the world considers that girl, because that girl came from the world and the world's consideration of that girl. So that girl is someone who every other girl wants to be like, someone who every other girl is jealous of, someone who every other girl loves to, you know, act like they enjoy seeing her around and stuff like that. She dresses nice, she smells nice, she looks good, but the thing is that there's a very thin line being trying to be that girl and then you doing things that the world considers good and God doesn't consider good. Which is the reason why I'm talking about like being a Christian and then being that girl. I really know that you can actually be a Christian and still be that girl. Be a Christian and still live your best life, right? One thing I don't like to see is I don't like to see young female Christians, be Christians and then decide not to take care of their body, not to take care of themselves, and just live life like no one is watching or looking at them. I don't think that's the right way. In fact, that's not even the right way to approach things. If you're going to be that girl, if you're going to be a Christian girl, you have to win everywhere. I was reading a book today, Midas Touch by Kenneth Hagin. Hagin, yeah, Kenneth Hagin. And he said something so profound. He said, the way you think, the way you think, the way you believe, or what you think, what you believe, and what you speak have to be synchronized for you to prosper. And this is something our man of God, Pastor Chris, has taught us every single time, that it has to be synchronized, right? You cannot be saying I'm a rich, and you don't think rich, you don't act rich, you don't believe that you're rich. You're speaking, you're believing have to be synchronized. They have to like come together. They have to meld together and stuff like that. So, which is why, and then he was talking about timing. You know, what? Okay, not the Midas Touch book. I was listening to a message by Apostle Joshua Selman, and was talking about timing. How that you need to understand the process of time. Now, when I woke up today, honestly, one thing I was doing is I was thinking of, because this past few weeks has been a lot, especially the Nigerian economy. Like the things I used to, I don't consider as a burden. It now looks like this is a lot to handle. Right. And I was thinking to myself, oh Lord, what exactly should I do? Is there something I'm doing wrong? And it was like, just focus on increasing your income and every other thing will be fine. Which is what I think is the best thing to do. But while we're at it, you also need to understand there's time for everything. There are times where things might not be going well, but that doesn't mean that God is not with you. That doesn't mean that God doesn't consider you his child. That doesn't mean that God doesn't consider you as his own, or God doesn't want the best for you at the time. It just means that God is looking out for you, but he wants to train you in certain things. He wants you to grow in certain ways. He wants you to be, because you have to focus on your being. It's your being that will bring your having. So when you've become something, that's the reason why for the in recent times, one thing I've been doing is reading a lot of books, because I'm like, now I need to focus on being. I need to develop myself mentally, spiritually, emotionally. I need to be better at certain things, and I'm working on myself consciously. Hi Sarav, thank you for joining my life. I'm working on myself consciously. I'm telling myself, Like, okay, these are the things I need to do. I need to focus on these things. I need to be better at these things. Of course, I remember you every single time. So I was like, I need to focus on these things. I need to work on myself. I need to not just relent and just think that everything is just going to, go a certain way. I need to work towards it. Another thing is, so you being, now let's go back to what the topic is, which is being a Christian. Um, you can't say you're a Christian and not love the things of God. Oh, I don't understand Hindi. And you can't say you're a Christian and not serve the Lord, right? What one thing is one thing I've come to understand, right, is what you do when no one is watching most of the time is more important than what you do when everyone is watching. Because it's what you do when no one is watching. That's the true you. That's the real you. Like, what do you do when no one is watching? That is you. And if it doesn't tally with what you're saying, it means you're being fake. It means that you're not original. You're not even true to yourself, right? Which is why you have to develop yourself. Don't just say you're a Christian and you're not close to God. Don't just say you're a Christian and you don't know what the Bible says. Don't just say you're a Christian and your life doesn't speak that of a true believer, that of a true Christian. If you're a Christian, right, don't just open your mouth and be proud to say it. There are certain things that require, there are certain sacrifices that require for you to even open your mouth and say, sorry. I say you're a true Christian. It takes lots of sacrifices. It takes days in prayer. Sometimes it even feels like God has left you. I can't begin to explain how I feel in this few times and period. Because it's almost like, God, what should I do? Like, I turn everywhere and I'm like, I just need a sense of direction. Do you understand? And it doesn't even mean that what you're doing does not have direction. It's just that it has gotten so frustrating that you don't even know where to start from. But there's what they call patience. There's what they call, I know they say patience is a virtue. You know what they call patience. When you are patient, when you have that capacity to be patient, when you look at everything around you and you be like, oh, you know what, I'm going to wait on God's timing. I'm going to be patient no matter what it is. It doesn't matter how I feel right now. I'm going to be patient and wait on God. But it takes a different kind of grace and revelation to even do that. Which is the reason why, if you're a Christian girl, be a Christian girl. But most importantly, beyond you posting on social media, beyond showing your friends, your family that you go to church, have that time with God. It's not enough for the church to know that you come to church. Do you know who God is? Do you have a revelation of who God truly is? That is much more important. Do you understand Him? Do you know the scriptures? You know, if you are to open your mouth and talk, what will come out of your mouth? Do you know who He is? Does He know you? Do you pray? Or you just go to church just for fashion and you're not even spiritually minded. One thing God has also let me understand is many of the things that I crave them no more. They used to be my passion and my driving source. They used to be something I really wanted so badly. But lately, I don't even care about it. Like, I don't even care if it comes, if it doesn't come. And from my study of the word, I noticed something like God likes to do. That thing you badly want, you can do it in a way that it will now make you not to even value or cherish the worldly things. You not be so focused on just being with Him, spending time with Him, being close to Him. Because that's how I feel now. I mean, when God begins to deal with you, even you will know and you will feel it. Do you understand? Now, coming back to being that girl, if I'm to say it the way I want to say it is, don't just be that girl that is fine, that has long lashes, that has her hair is always made, her clothes is always looking nice. You need to be that girl in prayer. If you don't know him, you're not that girl. If he does not even know you, that's even the worst. You're not that girl. You're just a girl. That's my own. That's my take on this. Like, if you don't know the word, if you don't, if you don't, it's one thing for him to love you. It's another thing for you to love him. If you don't love him to that point, you're not that girl. And there's something in the Midas Touch I read, there's something profound that he said. He said, you need to put God first. Like God needs to come first. And when I mean first in every single thing. There's something I used to actually tell people. Like I'm this kind of girl, to be honest. I'm not materialistic. I have a good job. You get. For me to say I have a good job, I'm telling you that I do. Do you understand? People, compared to the average, compared to the average, you know, but I'm not materialistic. The things I cherish, many people don't cherish it. And I think it's also from a place of I've come to understand what true wealth is. I've come to understand what the wealth of God truly is. And even today, with the challenges I now face, with the challenges I've now gone through. And again, when I think about it, I know that God is taking me through a phase. Because I won't say my job is the best job. The working environment is not the best, but it's a lot of hardship. But at the same time, when I look back, I'm like, God, I see what you're trying to do. I see what you're trying to teach me. Right? Even if the job is not the best, I know I've learned some certain type of leadership. I've learned some certain type of how people can get easily manipulated. I've learned how to be mentally strong. I've learned how to handle pressure. I've learned how to handle very difficult bosses and very difficult people. I've learned how to raise money and hit targets. I've learned how to you'll be shocked at this one. I've learned how to understand people. It's something to understand people. I don't understand people. I now learned to understand people. And not just any people, both colleagues, both workers, both customers. You know, I've learned how to recognize when someone is manipulating you. I've learned how to withstand insults, how to be quiet when you're insulted, how to keep quiet when we are supposed to be talking. So I've learned these many things, and I've listened to my other colleagues, talk about like where they work, how it is, and I can't relate because where I'm coming from, we don't do that. But looking back, I'm like, God, I see what you're trying to teach me. I understand what you're trying to teach me. And I must confess, I'm just very grateful because with where I'm at now, and I look ahead, I look at my future, and I'm like, oh God, where do you want to take me to? And if when I now visualize, like God is training me for a bigger purpose, God is training me for something higher. I know I'm not the best Christian. I'm not. I don't have secular songs on my phone. that I will say, okay, I don't sing that song on my phones, but there's some secular songs that if you play them, I can sing them very well. And even on some of my shorts, I dance to secular songs. So I'm not trying to paint myself as a saint. I'm just telling you from my own standpoint that it's possible that God is calling you for a greater purpose. I'm not trying to tell you that you should be the how do you put it? Start from where you are. Do you understand? I don't compare my salvation to your salvation. Me, I'm telling you about it. But don't now say, oh, because Terry is not doing this. Mm-mm-mm. Go and pray to God. Let Him show you His own revelation of you. Once He has shown you and He has told you what you're supposed to do, don't go to social media and go and be looking for validation or be looking for who else is doing what you are doing. The calling is different. As some people that they lied in the Bible and God killed them. As some people that they committed adultery, God forgave them. The race is not for the swift. So don't do your own comparison. God knows each and every one of us strengths. He knows where our strength starts from. He knows where our strength stops. It's left for you to be able to decipher what He knows is your own strength, what He has called you to do, what He has said that, oh, this is what I want you to do and I want you to follow suit. I'm in a point where I really don't care if this YouTube channel makes money or not. Like, even this morning, like I was just saying to this way, like, okay, then I was trying to cook. And then he said something to me. I was like, have you given up? I was like, Holy Spirit, why are you asking me this question? It was not like you really gave up. To be honest, that's how I feel. Because as of today, I told myself I'm not going to do anything related to YouTube. The cost of doing YouTube is a lot for me. And I have a lot of bills to pay. As I'm talking to you, I have a very I have a challenge, and it's a challenge, but it's something that I'm trusting God that it's going to be resolved. And I know that the day is going to be resolved. Maybe I'll come and screenshot this video and add it to my new video and be like, oh, this was when I was having this challenge. But I believe that it's for a greater purpose. If I can walk through this water and I'll keep walking through it and stand and come out eventually. As far as God is on the throne, it will be done. Because I'll be successful. That's one thing I've told myself, that I'm going to be successful no matter what. I've made up my mind. I've made up my mind. I've set my eyes like a flint. I don't care what it is. I have to be successful. Like, I don't even care what people think. I don't care what anybody think. Even if let the economy crumble, let the economy faint. I don't care. But you see me, I must succeed. Like I have made up my mind. I don't care how they come. I don't care how bad they come. If like let's water be 5,000 naira. Let's water be 10,000. Let's one bottle water be 20,000. I don't care. I must make it in life. It's I have to. I don't even have a choice. That's the honest truth. I don't mind giving up on YouTube and I'll focus on something else because that's what I want to do. If I leave YouTube, I'll go and start something because I've been doing YouTube for a while and I have deadlines for my bills. So if I say let me keep on doing YouTube, my bills will not be paid. That can blow up now. Let me say this video hits 100,000 views. I get monetized. Maybe I make like $1,000 this month. That'll be mad because a lot of my bills will be paid. I'll have a lot of peace of mind. I don't even. I'm at a point where I don't even care about fame anymore. Like I don't even care. I don't even care about being famous. I used to care a lot. I used to upload shorts, do this. I'll try different things. I don't even care. I just want to be wealthy. I just want to have a lot of money. I just want to have a lot of money. Like I don't care about any other thing. I just want to have a lot of money. I want money to take care of myself, take care of my family, take care of my siblings. Let me tell you a story about Midas Touch. Okay, let me tell you people to subscribe. I discovered I've not written that. Mm, how should I say we should subscribe now, sir? I'm sorry, I'm trying to type it. I don't think I can type it. So, do you know the story of Midas Touch? By the way, if you're not subscribed to my channel, please go ahead and subscribe. I'm so happy to meet you. I was losing my hair. So let me be losing my hair while I tell you the story of Midas, where Midas came from. So today we are reviewing the Midas Touch. I just read it like this morning, actually for a friend, but I've returned to the book. So once upon a time there was a king, you know. The king, one of the goals of the king was to have a lot of gold. He wanted to be very, very wealthy and rich and famous. Not famous, shy, he wanted to be wealthy. So he used to amass a lot of gold. He had a store where he had gold. There were a lot. And guys, if you used to watch cartoons when growing up, you know that there were so many cartoons that had this storyline when they were talking about king. I remember one particular cartoon I watched. I used to have it on my laptop then. It had something very, very similar to this. It was a Disney cartoon and it was talking about how that one should not be greedy with gold because those are not the anyway. When I finish telling you my story, I'll tell you the moral of the story. So this king wanted gold so bad. So even though he had a lot of gold, he was not still satisfied with the gold. He was not satisfied with all the gold that he had. So one day he slept, you know, and a white being came to meet him. Yes. So he asked him to make a wish, like just one wish, like anything he wished for, anything he wanted. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Ask him to make a wish. You should wish for anything at all. So he went ahead and made a wish. Then he wished that he wanted to have the golden touch. So when he wished I wanted was having golden touch in the dream, when he woke up, his bed his bed and the bed frame, all of them are turned to gold. So when he woke up, he looked at it. He was like, "Oh my God, it has turned to gold! Like this is pure gold!" Da 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 da, da stuff like that. He was so happy. He was so excited. That's everything had turned to gold at the time. He was so excited. So after that, he stood up. He touched his bed, his rod. The rod turned to gold. He touched his lamp, the lamp turned to, he started touching things in his house. Everything he was touching was just turning to gold, 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 gold. He now had lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of gold. So after that, then he now wanted to eat. He went to the dining. When he picked up his food to eat, okay, okay. So now you can actually see the story that he actually got what he wanted, right? But in the book, then Kenneth Hagin now said that sometimes you might get what you want, but you might not want what you get. Do you understand? What that means is sometimes you might get something and just be like, oh my God, I really liked this, I really did this, da, 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 da. But by the time, as time goes on and you begin to see the things that comes with what you've gotten, you'll not be like, are you sure this is what I want? This thing has happened to me several times. I remember when I was getting this new job, I used to be like, oh my god, this was exactly what I wanted. I used to be so excited and I'm so happy. Oh my god, I have this now, da 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 da, da, stuff like that. At the end of the day, after a while, I discovered that that's not exactly what I wanted. So one thing you should know is be careful what you want. Be careful what you wish for. Be careful. Because sometimes it might not be exactly what you want eventually. It might not be exactly what you want. So now let's go back to the story. So after that, he went to okay. Then he now went to the dining to eat. Immediately he picked the spoon to eat. The spoon turned to gold. When he touched his food, both the food and the plate turned to gold. The table, as soon as he touched the table turned to gold. Then he now asked himself, like, how can I have how can I have such a blessing? I have all of this and yet I'm not so satisfied. Yet I can't even feed myself. I can't even eat food. How can I even feed myself? If you touch the apple will turn to gold. You can't even eat apple. I was like, oh, how can I have this golden touch and yes, I can't even eat? Like, what's now the point of having it? And I started regretting. Then he went to his room. As soon as he went to his room, his young child, a very pretty little girl, was now she came to greet him. So when she came to greet him, I was like, oh my god, my baby, blah blah blah. Blah. Then the child hugged him. As soon as the child hugged him, she immediately turned into a statue of gold, a living child. And that was when he realized what he had done. And immediately he was full of regret, was just asking to himself, oh, how come um what's the point of having all this gold if I can't even have my child with me? That just help us understand that many times the riches and the wealth of life is not in material things. Many times what real riches and wealth is. I'll define mine. For me, it's peace of mind. I can't explain so much how I love peace. It's peace. It's having a very beautiful and loving family. It's being able to be happy with everyone. It's being able to see your parents, see your siblings, the people that love and cherish you, love you back. That is true wealth. To be able to live in love and happiness, for there to be so much joy in the home, that's the meaning. That's happiness. If there's ever a meaning of happiness, that is what wealth is. If there's ever a meaning of a wealth, that's what wealth is. And I kid you not, it's something that you cannot buy anywhere. You can't buy it anywhere. You see, having true friendship and knowing someone that loves you, loving someone that loves you. Like you're not trying to contemplate if the person loves you or not. That is wealth. That is wealth. And that's what many people don't know. That is what they call wealth. If you have to define wealth today, wealth is peace, wealth is happiness, wealth is joy. The story of Midas Touch is very touching. Because immediately when I read that particular book, that particular chapter, and I was like, and this is what I'm saying. I know one thing I said today when I woke up, one thing God was just talking to me about is like I like you see fame, I'm not even interested. This is how uninterested have become. I used to be so very interested. In fact, even content creation, my spirit was like, have you given up? I said, I'm not interested. I just want to have my peace of mind. I just want to have money and rest. But at the same time, I believe that by the time I'm very settled and I'm okay and I'm good, I would calm down. And then I'm settled, I will calm down and then maybe start content creation again. But one thing I know is I need to have a well of money. After I have that well of money, you know, when I mean a well, it never finish, or like an ocean of money, an ocean of wealth. That's I want to have that. When I have that ocean of wealth, then content creation will just be like a spring in that sugar. So yeah, so that's what I was talking to him about. Like, you see, fame. So that story was really touching. And by the time they asked the king, like the king felt so much regret. He was just regretting, like, oh my god, I would do anything to get my lovely daughter back. Like, what? The daughter completely turned to gold. Do you even know what that means? Just because you wanted everything to be gold, like because you just wanted so much wealth. I know some of these cartoons. That's why sometimes before you show your children the cartoon, you have to show them the right thing. I'm glad my parents raised me well because I look back and I'm like, these were things I grew up with. I grew up watching movies and things that explains to me that money was not the real wealth. Being kind, being compassionate. Because many people till today, many people always think I'm stupid, I'm foolish. They always think I'm but like easy training. You're just kind. I have tears. I feel like crying. You're not. You're just a kind person. Did you know that some people cannot just understand it? Like you don't need anything in return. Like you are just kind from a place of that's where you came from. You came from a wealth of kindness. And I'm not expecting you to give me something back. I'm not I'm not trying to do it for you to come and do something for me. I'm not trying to do it so that on my birthday you buy me cake. On my birthday, I don't even want to be around you. I'm telling you like who I am. On my birthday, I would rather just I enjoy spending my own money. Triggers. And that's not to say that I don't appreciate when people spend on me. Of course I want that for myself. Triggers. But it's not compulsory for me. And that's just because I'm not holding on to wealth. Because wealth is not I'm not hold- earthly things, thank you. I'm not holding on to earthly things because earthly things is not really what defines. That's not wealth. That's not. Well, Pastor Chris used to say something that materialistic things are the easiest things to get. Things are the easiest things to get. You see what they call true love. One of the most. If you find someone that loves you, trust me, don't throw it away. It's one of the most difficult things to get. And the more you grow in fame, the harder it is to get it. Knowledge, vast knowledge, which is the reason why I love to read books. I mean, this channel is a self-improvement channel, so you should understand where I'm coming from. And the people here also read books. So it's not we didn't come here to play. She gets it. So that story is amazing. Because later he started regretting, he started like, oh my god, if I knew I wouldn't have asked for this golden touch. I wouldn't have wanted this. This is not what I want. I wouldn't have because I lost a life. Life is child. So he went back to sleep. He told the wise being that he doesn't that you see this golden touch, he would do anything just to get his daughter back. That his daughter is so precious and so important. So the white being told him what to do. He told him to go to a lake or a spring. Told him to go there Then he should wash his hands in the water. After he has washed his hands in the water, he should carry the water. Then whatever he wants to turn back to normal, he should sprinkle the water on it. So he took the water, he washed his hands. His hands stopped becoming golden touch. Then he carried the um what do they call it now? He carried the water and sprinkled it on his child, and the child came back to normal. And that's how he lived a very happy and satisfied life. Which also brings me to say that do not be covetous. Being content is what you have. I remember telling someone this week, you know, I met a guy. Let me tell you the story. And of course, I'm not lying. I'm telling you a true life story. I met a guy who was in church. Actually, I met him in church. It will shock you to know that I met him in church. And then there's something my friend used to say is my neighbor. He'll be like, oh my God, church is an hospital. In fact, church is not a place to find a life partner. And that's his own belief though. So the guy, like, we sat together, I went out with my friends, we sat together, you know. Now, if any of them watch this video, they will know exactly what I'm talking about. It's crazy. Okay, but maybe they might not know. They might not know actually. So, because I actually don't want them to know who the person is. So, we sat together and we all of a sudden someone was pulling down the curtains of the church and I was like, oh, is this church an event center? I was just asking myself, like, but he heard me and he responded. And I was like, oh no, it's not. It's yes. He was like, yes, it's an event center, but on Sundays they like decorate it as church service. And I'm like, oh okay, because initially I thought that it was. I'm not gonna mention the name of the church. I thought that it was the main church, like it was built by the church and stuff like that. Then before I knew conversations had started, I was asking, okay, what do you do? And stuff. And I told him, what is what I do? I'm this, I'm that. He mentioned, spoke. My friend just started talking. And then my friend came. So it won't like the conversation just at the end. And then I was like, oh, can I get your contact? We can't just end conversation here. I give you my contact. I did. Um, you know, and then my friend like took me away. Then we started going home. So after that, I went to work that Sunday. Then by the time I got back like no, I was sitting at work and he texted. Very unusual because usually when people like text me, I don't respond so fast. Many times I don't even respond like that, to be honest. But this one I responded. I spoke and I was talking. So he asked me, how are you? I was like, I'm fine. It was like, oh, where are you at? I'm like, oh, I'm still around. I went to work because church was not far from where I work. And then I was like, okay, why don't we go out and grab a drink? What do I think about that and stuff? Because I remember that even earlier last year, there were many people that wanted to grab a drink with me. But I said no. So this one, honestly speaking, I wanted to say no. But then I asked my friend about it and I was like, oh, there's nothing wrong with you now. Let me just go out and grab a drink and stuff. And I was like, okay, let's just give this one a try. I don't usually do this, but I mean, even till now, I have a lot of guys that really want to grab a drink with me. But I always turn them down for some reasons. I don't know. So for this one, I went. It was like a park. It was looking all nice and good and stuff. So by the time I got there, you won't believe like this guy started talking to me. You know, it came late because for me I keep the time. You know, it was like oh, be there by 7. By like 6:30, I left my work to go to the park. It's a park I've been to before, so it wasn't something new. So I already knew my way around, which was safe and stuff. So by the time we got talking, it was like, oh, he started mentioning several things. That's all. He has access to Polo Club. I don't know if you guys know Polo Club. He has access to Ikoyi Club. You know, he he just gave this vibe of he came from money and nobody asked him. My water is here. I didn't ask him whether he came from money or he did not come from money. Nobody asked him. Let me turn it off. So I Tracy Gospel. You are welcome to my live. So I didn't ask him whether I came from money or I didn't come from money. I'm sure one of you will be able to learn one or two things from this my beautiful story. I didn't ask him all those questions. So then he started talking. He told me about his mom. He told me that one of his brother is in the UK. You know that he likes to travel. He has traveled to several countries. He has been to he has been to the UK. He has been to the US. He has been to several countries in Africa. I didn't ask him all these unnecessary questions. Then after that, then we bought drinks. We bought suya. We had a little bit of fun. Then as the conversation was ending, he started asking me out. I started telling me he wants to what did he even say? Yes, I want me to be his girlfriend. And I'm like, that's too fast. Even if he was given this vibe of someone who is intentional, because it's not every single time that a guy will see you, and on the first date will already ask you to be his girlfriend. I mean, it's something that is rare. It's not something that many people do. It's not something that many guys do. So I told him no, I have to think about it. Because even this outing, I was like, I need to think about it. Then he was like, oh, that he's going to show me. I let him show me. Then he started becoming very touchy and I'm like, no, don't do that. Like, yeah, because honestly as a girl you have to define your boundaries. If you were some other girls, even that nice, they don't even mind following him to his house and stuff like that. And I think that's absolutely wrong. That's not something you should do, you know. So yeah, I'm doing very, very well, Tracy. Thank you so much. I'm so grateful. Thank you for joining my live. Please subscribe to my channel if you're not subscribed. So after that, the next day he still kept okay, we call. And meanwhile, I'm not someone that likes to call for so long. But I remember during that particular period, because I wasn't sleeping well because of the incessant calls, was calling every now and then, every now and then. To cut the long story short, this guy was a manipulator and a liar. That house he said